Yeah. In this session, let's use the non-parametric approaches to calculate the value at risk. As we have already discussed earlier, the non-parametric approaches do not require any assumption of a statistical distribution of the data, right? Even if the data does not follow any specific statistical distribution like normal or log normal, we can very well use the non-parametric approaches to compute the value at risk. So we will look at some of such kind of approaches which can be used to compute the value at risk. All right. One of such approaches for us is nothing but it's a bootstrapping of the historical simulation. Historical simulation is nothing but we pull out the values from the historical data, arrange them in the ascending order, and we pull out the n plus alpha into n plus 1th element. This is what we have looked at earlier. So when I am looking at the bootstrapping in that, all I would be doing is from that list of possible values, let's say these are the possible values, on a random basis I will pull out some number of elements. So I am drawing a sample of data from the original data set and I am computing the var for that sample. Okay, I'll draw a sample of 100. So how do I draw a sample? I'll actually take some random numbers. Probably I'll take the random numbers between let's say 3 and 250. Those is where our calculations are. So these are probably 100 random numbers that I'm going to take. Alright, these are the 100 numbers which I am going to take, and probably corresponding to these 100 numbers I will try to pull out the returns values. I will take the index of, in this particular array I will pull out this value. So these are the 100 returns that are pulled out corresponding to the 100 random numbers. And let's say I will try to find out the minimum value in all these cases. Alright, so I'll say the minimum value, because I've taken 100, the 1% var is nothing but the first element. The first element divides the data 99% and 1% to the other side. So probably I'm saying the minimum value is around 2.518%, so that is my 1% var. But if I repeat the same experiment again, I am getting 3.77%. If I repeat it again, I am getting 4.08%. If I repeat it again, 4.08, again 3.77, but this time 1.79. So what is happening is, many number of times if I am repeating the same experiment, this is the process which is called as a bootstrapping. From the original data set, I pull out a subset of the data on a random basis, and from that subset of the data compute the var. So out of the 250 original data set, all I have taken is I have taken a sample size of 100. On a random basis I am pulling some 100 values from the original data set, and wherever I am seeing that and I am trying to find out the 1% daily var. How do I find out the 1% daily var? It's as good as I am arranging the data in the ascending order and probably pulling out the 1% of the value that separates the data from the rest of it. So that is actually creating giving me a solution saying 1% is out of 100 is nothing but the first element. So the minimum most value is what I am trying to compute, and in different instances I am getting a different value: 2.09, 4.08, 3.77, 3.45, again 3.77, 2.85. So from this particular list I am getting a different set of minimum values. Now what this bootstrapping method says is, you repeat this experiment n number of times like this, and for each experiment that is repeated, compute the VAR based on that small sample and average all those VARs. Average all those VARs, and that would be the best estimate for the entire data. You don't need to find out the distribution, no need to find out the distribution of the underlying data, no need to find out the mean, standard deviation, anything. First compute the VAR for each experiment separately, and probably repeat it, let's say 1000 or 10,000 times. You repeat the same experiment and simply take an average of all those VARs whichever have come out, and mention that that is the best estimate VAR in this best estimate 1% VAR for our data. The same logic you can use for the calculation of expected shortfall also. The same way you have used the VAR, you can find out the VAR for not only 1%, you can take for 2%, 3%. So which is nothing but all these probably instead of minimum, you can take second minimum, third minimum, the fourth smallest, fifth smallest kind of values, which would be corresponding to the 5 different VARs, 95%, 96% confidence, 97% confidence kind of VARs. Apply a weighted average and compute the expected shortfall. Again repeat the same experiment n number of times. You will get n different expected shortfalls. Take a plain average of those n number of repetitions, and that is what will give you the final expected shortfall. That is what is a bootstrapping approach. So we are doing the historical simulation only, but from the original data set. If I am not bootstrapping it, what happens? I take the entire data set at once, arrange the data in the ascending order, and I am pulling out 1% or 5% of the values. Whereas when I am doing the bootstrapping, I am repeating the same experiment n number of times, and based on that pulling out the values, and based on that trying to do some kind of averaging on those values and arriving at my value at risk or expected shortfall. So rather than working on one set of raw data alone, this mechanism is a much better replacement to compute your value at risk. Right? So this is typically the bootstrapping of the historical simulation approach to compute your value at risk. Alright. Now let's move on to a non-parametric density estimation mechanism. In a way we have actually used it earlier also. Let's say right now in my sample I have pulled out 100 elements. Right, I have pulled out 100 elements, and I am trying to find out 1% VAR by identifying the first element in the ascending order. But let's say like in our earlier chapter, my data is having 250 elements. So 1% VAR is nothing but 2.5th element. Right? Directly I cannot pull out the value corresponding to the second or to the third. This is where a non-parametric density estimation mechanism will actually work, which is nothing but the traditional VAR approach will actually have to pull out either the second or the third item and say